everyone, I'm Christina Guerrero.
And I'm Jimmy Rhodes, and of course no one likes being in debt. But that's more true now than ever when borrowing money or using credit cards is way more expensive than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, between high interest and inflation, it is hard to stay ahead of the curve, but guys, there are ways to do it.
Jackie Denker has some solutions for getting a handle on your debt and paying it off ASAP. And that's our featured story at the top of the list.
Many of us think pulling out the plastic and paying later is easy. But if you have accumulated a lot of debt,
it's going to shrink your wealth over time unless something is done. Yet the problem is with those types of debts, interest is attached to whatever you bought.
And whether we like it or not,
the Federal Reserve is increasing interest rates, which is going to pass on to places like your credit cards.
So to give us some tips on how we can get rid of that debt ASAP, we spoke with financial planner Rick Salmeron. First up, he says we need to develop a sense of urgency.
We know that interest rates are going up. At least we've got some time, because when the interest rates go, that takes a little while for that to pass on to our credit card balances.
So he says it's time to get mentally prepared.
This will light a fire under our bellies, help us focus on paying these debts that are sending us in a reverse direction. We've got the luxury of knowing what's going to happen without it really happening yet. So use this to your advantage.
Next, it's time to get familiar with all of your debt.
List your debts, list them all. Take out a piece of paper and just write each one down. Number 1, number 2, number 3.
And Rick says list them in balance size from smallest to largest.
So that you know, that gives you the target to know what you need to attack, what you need to pay off. Visualize them gone.
And each time you pay one off,
do a mini celebration and address the next one.
Moving along with, consider zero balance transfers.
You might get a solicitation in the mail, 6 months with 0 interest. Just transfer your balances from credit card X and move it over here to credit card Y.
He says this offer can work if you pay the balance off within the allotted time period.
Because if you don't, I'm not sure what might be on the other side of the 6 months. However, I doubt it's any better than the situation that you just left.
Finally, he says, send in all the troops.
The troops are your disposable income. If you have a substantial emergency fund in the bank and you're not going to diminish that too much, take some money out of that and put lump sums towards those credit card debts.
He says be creative as to where else you can pull from to pay off debt.
Talk to an advisor, talk to your friend. Maybe the new source of debt can be a trusted family member or parent.
And if you just need advice, don't be afraid to ask.
Talk to your mortgage broker, perhaps your real estate agent, and talk to your banker. Your bank can offer up areas of financing and products that people may not be aware of.
Getting ahead of rising interest rates by paying off debt is at the top of the list.